Running a short-term rental business is not something that requires luck. If you have the right systems, processes, protocols, and formulas, you can reliably run a short-term rental business smoothly and provide you another source of income. My name is Kevin, and I've been doing short-term rental for the last 5 years. I have 25 short-term rentals in my portfolio. I am in the weeds when it comes to short-term rental. I'm in the business. I'm also on the business, and I have a team of people who do this for me as well. So I have tons of experience in short-term rental, and I'm here to tell you, to give you as much value when it comes to short-term rental business so that you can get another source of income. The bedrock of this business is cleanliness. Let's say that I check into a hotel and I find a piece of hair on the bed. I will call the front desk and I will ask for another room. When the house is not clean, the first impression matters so much. There's people who are in the business who can be understandable. There's people who use the platform for the first time. They want that kind of experience that hotel gets you. So if you don't have that cleaning held to the highest standard, and that to me is the most important bedrock foundation of the business, you cannot do this successfully. Average person will manage the short-term rental anywhere from A to Z. So it comes to guest communication. You want to make sure that you stay on top of it. And that's what I see, where I see most of the first-time short-term rental operator fail, is they don't stay on top of communication. You want to make sure when guests checks out, you clean the property, right? That means you want to make sure that the dirty linens are clean, and you want to dry them up, you want to put them back. You want to make sure that you have enough supplies. If you run out, you got to go to Costco, Walmart to get those. If you don't have a team, this is a business. So I don't know how you can do it if you have a full-time job. What leads to failure in short-term rentals is you don't stay on top of communication. You don't stay on top of quality when it comes to cleanliness. So if you only have 1 or 2, you can potentially do it yourself, manage the 2 yourself. But when you're looking to scale, there's just no possible way that you can stay on top of communication and the quality of cleaning just by yourself. So you gotta hire. Obviously that your revenue is gonna take a hit, but it's better for you to do it right so that you can make it a somewhat passive income business for you. When you manage a short-term rental, you're going to see success if you have specific protocols in place for each and every situation. No 2 complaints are exactly the same, and you need to be ready to adapt to that. I say that the first thing that comes to mind when you want to put systems and processes in place is cleaning. You want to make sure what needs to be clean. In the kitchen, if there's like plates that's left in the sink, you want to make sure that these plates are washed and they're dried. You want to just document that in like maybe a checklist to your cleaner, almost just like as if you were to do it yourself, and you're treating it yourself, putting yourself in the shoe of a guest, and you would just list all these things that need to be clean in that particular space as a checklist and hand it off to your cleaner. I give you an example of a bedroom, for example. The sheets will need to be put down on the bed. The cover, duvet cover, or the blankets will need to be folded. And then there's the nightstands, right? You want to make sure that the drawers of the nightstands are empty of the previous guest trash. So these are the things that, as a me, if I were to do a cleaning my bedroom, that I would do. And you want to document that, you want to journal that, and you want to make a checklist out of that, and you want to make sure that the cleaner is going through each bedroom with that checklist. When there is a complaint, and I would assume that it's a complaint about, hey, the hot water is not working, there's no hot water coming from the shower, or the AC is not working, the dishwasher is not working, anything that's related to the property, you want to address them right away. Operating a short-term rental is like having your own business. So if you charge too high for your service when there is it's not worth the value, you won't get customers for the service. You want to think from the perspective of the potential guest that's going to book with us. There's people that's going to look for these types of homes, and you just want to make that type so much easier for them, so that, hey, you're not getting the wrong types of people that's booking with you and later have to turn them away just because, hey, your house is not big enough to host a family. At the end of the day, you're providing a service, and you don't really want people to pay you too much money for the service that you're providing that they most likely won't even use. What I do to make my service go above and beyond is to stay on top of communication. Like I mentioned before, that communication is key. Place yourself in the shoe of a guest who is traveling. Traveling can be very stressful. I've been there, I've done that, and they're gonna ask you a lot of questions. You know these questions, and you can work them into instructions so that you can actually preempt these questions from coming up again, because you've been doing this for a long time. And these are all the questions, frequently asked questions, if you will, that prior guests have asked you. The key there is to create a brand, almost like McDonald's, In-N-Out, Starbucks. You want to have that consistency. So it doesn't matter if this home or that home, it's under the same brand. So they would expect the same kind of service, cleaning, standard, amenities that's offered, because it's tied to the brand. Just like you go to any Starbucks in the country, you will expect the same kind of quality taste for that cup of coffee that you get. Short-term rental pricing is all based on seasonality, and it's all based on demand. There is high season, there's low season, just like the real estate market. Summertime is a popular season, high season. Winter time, not so much. So you want to factor that into your consideration. You can look at how much your competitors are charging and charge accordingly, maybe 5-10% lower, just so that you can undercut your competitors. And there's always a spike in pricing when it comes to local events. So you want to be cognizant of these events that's taking place in your town. And I didn't even know this until I've operated short-term rental for many, many years. There's this event that's called Aftershock. A lot of rock and roll bands come together, the famous ones, and there's also the up and rising stars that come and then perform over there in downtown Discovery Park. It's a 3-day event. And I have people that come and book with us like 3, 4, 5 months in advance. And I'm like, what's going on with that 3 days in October? Little did I know that this is a recurring year-over-year event in October, just because that we know that we can charge higher. There's demand for it. All the local hotels are booked out, so they would rather live in a house like this than in a hotel where you're getting a room probably for the same price as getting a house that can house a party of 6 or 8 people, and they split the cost. It just comes out a lot cheaper that way than paying for 4 hotel rooms for the same rate that you can get just for one house. So there's so many YouTube videos out there, channels that you can subscribe to, including mine, where we talk about operating a short-term rental, start a short-term rental, furnishing a short-term rental, even analyzing a short-term rental so that you know that, hey, this property that I'm about to acquire, whether doing it as a short-term rental makes sense. I say that you improve your skills and grow your knowledge to run better short-term rentals by hanging out with other short-term rental operators or hosts. People are just expecting more. They're a lot more picky. When you talk about short-term rental, they're talking about just they're thinking about an experience, a hotel quality stay. So that's where that we need to get ourselves to, and there's still a lot of hosts out there that do not recognize this. They're still operating in this as moms and pops. That's why that they will be outcompeted and they will be eliminated, and that's why they fail. So I would say if you can do it yourself, just like any other business, you can get burned out. So it's best for you to hire a pro who knows what he is doing and he can do it more efficiently, more cheaply. Just pay that management fee, and you don't have to worry about it, and you can still learn along the way in the process. One of the best ways that you can learn about short-term rental is by subscribing, so you can learn all the information I've gathered through over a decade of experience. Peace out.